Hello, it's me, Ingrid, again. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you coming back as always. Today, I want to talk about how to stop giving people more love than you're giving yourself. For most of us, that may not be a thing, but a lot of people, that is real. How do you stop giving somebody more love than you give yourself? And why are you giving somebody more love than you give yourself in the first place? Would be my question. But I'm not counseling you today. I'm just providing information for you to process so you can see that it doesn't matter where you are, you always have the ability to move from here to there. So I understand these things. I don't pretty much tell you things that I haven't experienced myself. And that's one of the reasons I started teaching others is because you can only really teach appropriately from experience. I mean, I haven't experienced everything in the world, but as far as emotions go and as far as the emotion of love, I think that I am an authority on this because being denied love as a child and then having to find love on your own is a really big deal. It's a big deal for most of us, not just myself alone. So, how do you stop giving somebody else so much love that results in rejection or that results in you feeling less than? Because it's a domino effect. You give love to the wrong person, or you give love that is not reciprocated, and then you bury yourself in a hole and say, I'm not lovable. Nobody can love me. I'm never going to have what other people have. That's not true. That's a pity party. I know about pity parties. You're throwing a pity party because you feel sorry for yourself because someone rejected you, someone did not accept that the love you were given was authentic, or someone didn't realize that, what you were giving them was so valuable. But you know that what you were giving them is valuable. And you chose to give them because you wanted them to see you as you are. But do you see yourself as you are? Today we're going to talk about giving that love and who we should give it to and why we shouldn't give it away just because we want to. So today we are talking about how to stop loving other people more than we love ourselves. And in order to do that, there has to be boundaries. There has to be boundaries put in place. And one of the boundaries that you need to address is the boundary of self-love. You have to love yourself, not selfishly, because love is not selfish, but you have to love yourself to the point where you trust yourself. Not only do you trust yourself, you have to love yourself to the point where you understand your value and your worth, your self worth. If you don't understand that, then everything else you attract is going to be based on where you are at with that self love. If you don't practice the art of self love, in other words, you're not going to attract people who can genuinely love you. You'll attract the mere ghost of people who don't understand what love is. Many people talk about their love languages and how they're aware of their love languages and they're aware how they can love or what they want. But understand this: love languages are only as good as your reference for love. A lot of people don't even know what love is or how to genuinely love. So the language they're projecting out, or the language they're indulging in, may not be an authentic language because the core of that language is corrupted. They don't know what love is. So what is love? That's the first thing you have to ask yourself, but you don't have to have the answer to it right now. But what you need to do is practice understanding what love is to you. What does it mean to you? Does it mean respect? Does it mean trust? Does it mean commitment? There's a lot of different things that people can denote as love. But practicing self-love means it's all about you. It's all about your approach to yourself. Are you compassionate with yourself? Or do you beat yourself up all the time? A lot of us do that, and we tend to do that when we feel like we've messed up or screwed up. But is it necessary to go on for an inordinate amount of time beating yourself up? What purpose is it serving? Because you'll just go further and further into your turtle shell. Self-love is the first thing. The second thing is learning to be alone. Most, and especially our current generation, we don't know how to be alone. During the coronavirus, many of us realized that, or many of us realized that we want to be alone. It could be either or. But the aspect of spending time alone with yourself is foreign to most people. How do you mean spend time by myself? Why would I want to do that when the whole premise of society is to engage with others, to be social? I'm not talking about socialization. I'm not talking about going out and having a good time. I'm talking about how many hours in your day do you dedicate to spending time with yourself. If you can't spend time with yourself, why the hell do you expect other people to want to spend time with you? Is that a reasonable expectation? Is the same true? The same is true of, if you can't love yourself, why are you going out there expecting somebody to love you? You're not going to get what you don't give yourself. Is that real? Is a real thing. Trust me. Been there, done that. I'm not telling you anything that, or selling you anything that I don't believe myself. The other aspect is identifying and dealing with your pain. All of us carry pain differently. All of us deal with pain differently. Many of us have wounds that have not healed. I talk a lot about wounds during these segments, but many of us have wounds that have not healed or that we refuse to let heal. You have to get to the place where you recognize that healing is essential to your well-being. If you don't heal, then your wound is going to be constantly picked at. It's just that simple. It's like having a bad knee and trying to run, and the knee just gets worse. It's not going to get better. It's just going to go from good to bad, and then eventually there's a certain measure of deterioration. So you need to learn how to heal. You need to acknowledge your pain. Who hurt you? When did they hurt you? How long ago did they hurt you? Have you written down this stuff? Have you dealt with the pain? Or are you like most of the population that says, you know what? I've forgotten about it. That thing is in the past. But remember, what we put into the human garbage can of our minds, it overspills. Like I keep on saying to you, I hope that you get this. So pain doesn't go away if you don't address it. Pain is something that can fester. It's something that will not only fester, it's something that it will get bigger in stature, and it will overtake you at the moment when you least expect it. And that's when it can be triggered. It can be triggered by anything or anyone. People can trigger your pain. Situations can trigger your pain. Events can trigger your pain. But you're not always going to be consciously aware to know exactly when or how that trigger will occur. So it's best to deal with the pain. Excavate the demons. Excavate the skeletons, like I always talk about. Bring that stuff to the forefront. Deal with the pain. But you can't deal with the pain while attracting somebody else who's in pain. We tend to do that because pain attracts more pain. And if you read my book or if you hear my seminars and workshops, you'll realize that pain is real. But pain, all pain does is it attracts more pain. So you have to, in order not to attract more pain to yourself, you need to get rid of your own pain before you can deal with somebody else's pain. How the heck are you going to go there and build somebody's mansion when yours does not even have a foundation? We cannot practice hypocrisy while we are trying to establish self-love. You need to learn to love yourself. You need to learn to heal, and you need to understand who you are and why you're doing the things you're doing. Because otherwise, you're going to blame people. You're going to say that this person treated you a certain way because they're that way. No, that person treated you a certain way because you allowed them to treat you that way. Nothing happens to us by accident, and nothing happens to us without our permission. There are some things in life that can happen to us without our permission, like being raped and stuff like that, or being in situations that we don't have any control. But for the majority of instances that happen to us, we have a certain measure of control. We can take control of our lives. We don't have to lose that accountability. So if you accept that accountability, then you will realize that that person didn't really do anything to you that you didn't have an active participation in. And if you understand that, and if you acknowledge that, that's where healing begins. Healing is not about casting blame. Healing is about putting blame where blame needs to be put, whether it's on the other person or yourself. But in a relationship, it's always equal. It's never one person's fault. It takes two to tango, as they say. So how do you and why do you give love away? Why do you end up loving the wrong person? Why do you attract people who treat you badly? It's because you never treated yourself well, or you don't believe that you're the best thing since sliced bread. You have to believe in your own self-value and worth. And without a question or doubt, you need to maintain that self-value and worth. Nobody has a right to treat you worse than you treat yourself. And nobody has a right to do anything to you that you do not allow. And if you stand by that code of honor, it is very difficult to find yourself being taken advantage of when it comes to relationships of the heart, or capitulating to something that makes you less than. You have the power. You have the advantage. You have the tools. But there's a lot of work to be done if you choose to do that work. If you refuse to do that work, it's just going to take a longer time. So start. Today is where you start. Today is where you develop the aspects of self-love. Learn to love you. How do I practice self-love, Ingrid? You acknowledge the pain that you're experiencing now or have experienced in the past, and you make a conscious decision to address that pain, because you do not want to attract the same spiritual energy that you've been attracting all of the time. How many of you have dated the same person? It's just a different face and a different name. It's like, what the heck? Is this Peter, Paul, or Pompey? It's the same person. But what you're really doing is attracting that energy. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about clearing up your energy, allowing yourself to heal so that you put the right energy around you so you can attract the right energy and the positive energy. Let's do it together. Let's make a conscious decision to love ourselves. And that what does that look like again, I say? It looks like you hugging yourself and acknowledging it's going to be okay. I'm okay. And I'm all right. And it starts with me. My name is Ingrid Felton. Thank you as always for checking in and visiting my my YouTube videos. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. Encourage others to like it. Visit my website, thejourneyoftruth.com, where you'll find more information about me and about my workshops, seminars, books, etc. And if you want to reach out to me, please feel free to do so. You can email me at any time. And I look forward to seeing you again. But remember, this journey starts with your willingness to recognize that it starts with you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.